Hey guys, I hope you are all doing well today. I want to share or continue sharing my personal journey with you, my journey of fighting lupus with God. And as I go along, you'll understand exactly what I mean by that. But before I dive into my own story, I want to explain what lupus actually is. Because I've realized that a lot of people don't really know much about this illness. Honestly, myself, before I was diagnosed, never know nothing about it either. When I started doing research after being diagnosed, that's when I realized that this was the same illness that my mother and grandmother had. They were both never diagnosed, but looking back, I realized that we have the same symptoms. And years ago, lupus was even harder to diagnose because it tends to hide itself under other illnesses. So, what is lupus? Lupus, also called systematic lupus erythematosus or SLE, is a chronic autoimmune disease. That means the immune system, which is supposed to protect us, ends up attacking our own healthy tissues and organs. This can cause inflammation, swelling, and damage in many areas: your skin, your joints, kidneys, heart, lungs, blood vessels, even your brain. A few things about lupus: it is a lifelong condition, it flares up, then sometimes goes into remission, it's unpredictable, and it's different for each person, and it is not contagious. It mostly affects women of childbearing age, but men and children can get it too. There are four main types of lupus. You have systematic lupus, otherwise known as SLE. The most common and serious, it can affect many organs. Cutaneous lupus, skin lupus, causes rashes and lesions, often made worse by sunlight. The discoid type can even cause scarring and hair loss. Drug induced lupus caused by certain medications, but it usually goes away when you stop taking the drug. Neonatal lupus, very rare, affecting newborns or mothers with lupus related antibodies, but most cases clear up within months. In short, lupus is an autoimmune disease where the body attacks itself and it comes in different forms. So now that you understand a little more about lupus, let me tell you about my journey. I was diagnosed with lupus in 2015, and then I've developed a number of health complications: severe hypertension, enlarged liver and spleen, fibromyalgia, Sjogren's syndrome, Raymond's arthritis, poor circulation, severe hyperpigmentation, and even an enlarged heart. Over the years, things got worse. I've also had severe allergic reactions to conventional lupus medications. My face, my eyes, my lips would swell, my body developed painful lumps, and my skin burn immensely. Because of this, there are no standard lupus medications left in Jamaica for me to try. They either make my symptoms worse or them no work at all. Doctors even suggested chemotherapy as a last option, but I refused because I said to myself, if regular medication damaged my body so much, I can just imagine what chemo would have done to me. So today, I'm managing lupus with herbal medicine and doing my best to stick to a clean diet while trusting God every step of the way. This is why I say I'm fighting lupus with God. Because every day is a battle, but I don't fight it alone. Major events that I've had to deal with since I've had lupus. In November and December of 2021, I was hospitalized with critically low blood count of just 3 and signs of organ failure. I had to be treated with high dosage steroids because my white blood cell count dropped so dangerously low. Around that time, doctors also discovered I had a looped intestine along with severe hyperpigmentation. Then in May, I suffered a stroke caused by a lupus related blood clot in my leg. I had to be on blood thinners, my entire right side was dead, my speech was drastically affected. Although still think I have a little slur, I can hear it. I slur some words, but when I ask people, they said they don't hear it, but I hear it. Honestly, I thought having a stroke would be the scariest moment of my life, but it wasn't. Later in November 2023, I started vomiting. I moved back to Clarendon, and then one night actually, I started vomiting and had severe bleeding episodes. Coughing up blood because my veins had become very fragile, especially from being on blood thinners. I coughed up so much blood. I was just there sitting on the veranda. My caregiver, Auntie Michelle, was like, "Come, let's go to the hospital. This is not normal." I could see the nervousness all over her, but I sat there thinking, "Oh my God, am I going to die tonight? Did I really just move to Clarendon to die?" All type of thoughts went through my head that night. And then in January 2025, I lost the ability to walk for 3 months because of poor circulation. My veins were badly damaged, and the skin on my legs even turned black. By the end of March, through physiotherapy and with the help of a walker, I was able to regain the ability to walk again. Now, listen, through all of this, I have not been on any conventional lupus medication, and yet I'm still here. Who could it be but God? That is why when I say I'm fighting lupus with God, I mean it with every part of me. Because there were so many times I thought, this is it. This might just be the end. I know people around me probably looked at my condition and thought I wouldn't make it. But one thing that always stuck with me was something a co-worker once said. Whenever I came back to work after something terrible happened, she would smile and say, "Brown, and the lupus I gonna kill you." And I would laugh, but these words, I still hold on to them. I'll be sharing my journey in more detail with you, starting with my latest attack. I pray I don't have any more. When I was crippled for 3 months, wheelchair bound, the whole works. That will be in my next post. But before I go, I want to share something exciting with you. During that season when I was bedridden, I started working on my book, Fighting Lupus with God. This book will go even deeper into my story and all the details I can't always share here on social media. I'm so excited and I feel so driven and compelled to put it out there because I want to show you this one truth. When God has his hands on your life, nothing, absolutely nothing is impossible. Luke 1:37 says, "For with God nothing shall be impossible." Matthew 19:26 says, "With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." So, whatever you're facing right now that feels impossible, whatever you think you can't pull through or come back from, just trust God. Because with Him, nothing is impossible. See you next week, guys. Bye.